Hello, your questions are regarding your partner, your boyfriend, and this connection overall. You asked whether or not someone better will come along, whether or not you'll have the same concerns if that new person does, in fact, show up. You want to know if there's a problem with you. And I'm just reading through your note here. You did provide examples of some of your concerns with this connection and your partner and the way that he does things. So with that said, clear messages for the current regarding her relationship. And any other romantic connections, whether present or future. Okay, you've got Six of Pentacles. You've got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. You've got the Four of Cups in reverse. You've got Death. Seven of Wands in reverse. Nine of Swords. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. The Emperor. The Sun. The Page of Swords. Okay, we'll pull some additional answer cards here. Is he the best choice for you? What if someone better comes along? Will you have the same concerns? And is the problem with you? All right, so we'll talk about those later. All right, in the present position, you've got the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles, a lot of times can speak to taking a more balanced approach, okay? Thinking about things fairly. It's also a card about giving and take, these energies. So you want to make sure that the give and take in this connection is equitable. Now, don't think of the relationship as a transaction necessarily, because that will kill the passion in any connection. But if there's something here that feels like it's out of balance for you, then you may want to address it. Even a conversation would definitely help. I do see the Page of Pentacles here in the reverse. And the Page of Pentacles certainly can speak to the earlier stages of this connection. It could also speak to maturity levels. So there's a certain level of immaturity in this connection. It's possible that there could be a certain level of immaturity within yourself or within this person as well. There's definitely an age difference, and I do see this here, okay, with the Queen of Pentacles here in reverse and the Page of Pentacles as well. Could also indicate a little bit of a maturity level difference as well. But these are the challenges that you're going to be dealing with within this connection. The Page of Pentacles in reverse can also speak to some level of learning, okay? It's possible that either this is a learning experience for you or this is a learning experience for him as well. But someone here is probably more of a student, so to speak, and needing to learn something as well. So I get the sense that this partnership is also a bit of a learning lesson for both of you, or at least for you. Now, in the recent past, you have this Four of Cups energy here. You've also got it in reverse. So perhaps you didn't date for a while, or he didn't date for a while, but this is likely your energy here. And in the recent past, you've done a lot of thinking. You've done a lot of work on yourself, it seems like, as well. But you may have also closed yourself off to other opportunities in the past. Maybe this isn't love and relationships, perhaps wasn't something you weren't giving that much importance to. Now, the Four of Cups can also be a little bit of a lonely card or a lonely energy, in my opinion. So if this is specific to you, you may want to consider the lessons learned in the card previous to it in the same suit, the Three of Cups, which is about, socialization. It's about having fun. It's about being lighthearted. It's about having friends, surrounding yourself with friends and family and or suitors as well, okay? It's about being available. It's about having this, kind of like this vitality, this little bit of kind of life energy, like a passion for life, if you will, okay? Now, in the future, you do have death, so this typically signifies the sudden and maybe a bit painful kind of change. It's also a major kind of energy. You've got another major energy here with the sun. So these are definitely bigger events, okay, that will be major themes in our life and life lessons at that time. So with the death card here, in the near future, you can expect a lot of transformation, a lot of change, okay? It may also signify the end of this connection, honestly, just because I'm seeing the Seven of Wands here in reverse as well. And this is the external presentation of either yourself, your feelings, or potentially, what this connection looks like to others, okay? So this is what's on the conscious mind. And with the Seven of Wands here, Seven of Wands is about some conflicts for sure. And they could be internal struggles, okay? It could be reflective of how you're feeling about this relationship. You also might feel like you have to defend it, or that you're just generally, feeling like you're on the defensive here. You've kind of fought really hard to get to where you are. Maybe you have fought for this connection. You've struggled with these different ideas. And like I said, it could be a bit of an internal struggle. I'm not sure if you've had any communication with this individual regarding some of your concerns. But if you haven't, that would be something that I feel the cards here do suggest, especially with the Page of Swords in the outcome position. The Page of Swords challenges us to better communicate our ideas, what we're thinking. It could be your emotional needs as well, right? So what you've got here in the Nine of Swords position, with the Nine of Swords, in the kind of internal space, this is what's in your heart. This is what you've got in your subconscious. This is what's really driving, you right now. You've got the Nine of Swords. So you've been giving a lot of thought to these issues. Perhaps this is something that has caused you some anxiety, even something that possibly kept you up at night. Maybe you're not feeling as well rested. I don't feel that this relationship is feeding you, from an energetic perspective. It's not fulfilling you, it seems like. And the Nine of Swords here is what is reflective of that. In the advice position, you've got this Queen of Pentacles also in the reverse. So you are an earth sign, I believe you mentioned. So the Queen of Pentacles is certainly, an earth sign as well. It's a more mature energy, okay, here. And the Queen of Pentacles is someone that's very grounded. This is someone that certainly appreciates things that are, tactile, the manifestation of the things that you desire, the actual 3D aspects of them. So in terms of a relationship, this would be that physical connection. And perhaps you haven't had much of that either with this individual for whatever reason, maybe because he repulses you a little bit even, okay? And again, it could be because of this difference, I feel, in maturity level as well. You've got the Emperor. This is in your external influence section or, position. So, the Emperor is not always the most conducive energy, I feel, in a lot of things, because the Emperor is very rigid. Now, the Emperor is looking at life through the lens of his own experience. So your past is certainly giving color to this current connection. You may also be a bit rigid in terms of how things should be, okay, within a relationship. You've got the Sun here in your hopes and your fears position. And so in terms of your hopes, what you desire a very fulfilling relationship, a successful connection, feeling bigger than life, okay, with this love, with this type of connection. This is certainly what you are hopeful for and hopeful of. But you've got this outcome card here with the Page of Swords. And again, I really do feel that some communication needs to take place if it hasn't already. because you have certain expectations, okay? Queen of Pentacles in reverse can also be a little critical and have high expectations and things like that. But if you're not communicating them, they're only going to cause you internal, turmoil, conflict, and nothing here is going to be, addressed if you don't, have that courage, to have this communication with this individual to talk through some of these concerns of yours. Okay, so we pulled some additional cards to just answer, your questions a little bit. These are additional messages and what they speak to collectively. And again, that's the Fool, Judgment, Devil, the Five of Wands here in reverse. 3 additional major arcana cards. So at a minimum, you're certainly feeling very strong emotions as it relates to this connection, and possibly even just, your life, your stage in life at this moment. So you've got the Fool here, you've got Judgment, you've got the Devil, and you've got the Five of Wands here in reverse. And so just kind of looking at the chronological direction of these cards, it seems like, you either want to, or you're kind of in that space here where you're wanting to start something new, taking that leap of faith, taking that step to move forward. You've got Judgment, and right now you're finding yourself in a period of evaluation, very intense, reflection. Perhaps you saw some red flags or things you could consider red flags, and you got this wake-up call like, hey, something's going on here. You've got the Devil. So this is, generally speaking, some negative thinking, okay? And the thing about the Devil is that even though it can be negative thinking, ultimately it's a card of transformation as well. It's a card of growth. If there's something that you think is kind of weighing you down or tying you down, some kind of self-limited limiting belief or self-imposed restriction, once you release that, you can then, move forward. Like, because the individuals here in the imagery here of this card with the Devil, they have chains around their necks, but they're loose. I mean, at any time they are in control. They can choose to remove those, okay? And you've got this Five of Wands. So similar energy to the Seven of Wands here, also in reverse. The Five of Wands is about, a lot of times the haters or the individuals around you that might have different kind of opinions and inputs and things to say. It could be a bit of an internal struggle as well. These are like the different voices in your head, the negative thoughts and things like that. The issues that you're identifying in the relationship, the things that you're like, oh, that's a flag, that's a flag, that's a flag. That's also what, this card can certainly be speaking to. So your questions are, is this the best choice for you? Considering that you're a Virgo and he's a Leo, it's very likely that your values are going to be very different. All right. Virgos can be a bit, exacting even. Definitely like their, schedules, their routines, their way of doing things, whereas Leos are very prideful, generally speaking, in how they do things and who they are, very secure as individuals, and they do things their own way. They really are. By the way, the sun speaks to Leos. So there's something attractive about him for you, certainly. Leos generally are very attractive and charismatic, and this confidence is what is so attractive about Leos in general. We pulled the Fool. So you may, at a minimum, be aspiring to kind of harness a little bit more about that magnetism that he carries. Maybe it made you feel things. Maybe it made you think, wow, I'm out there on the ledge here and I'm feeling like, this is great, start of a new journey, a lot of excitement here. I'm going to, take that leap of faith. I'm full of hope here. This is how he made you feel. If this is something you value, then this would be a good choice for you. But if these things are just temporary and these aren't the things that you would normally value, then perhaps he's not the best connection for you. what if someone better comes along? So you've got judgment here. And again, going back to that period of internal, kind of evaluation, you're really thinking about this. So do our values align? Is this person the right person for me? Is this something I should cut off? Can I look past these flags? Will another connection come along? Sure, at some point. Absolutely. Why not? This card doesn't specifically speak to that. It speaks to doing internal work and thinking through things, making decisions. And then at that point, surely the universe will provide you that which is in alignment with what's in your heart. Will you have the same concerns? I think so. With the Devil card here, we just talked about self-imposed restrictions or self-limiting beliefs and things like that. What is it about this individual that is triggering you so? Something that you see about yourself in him, something that you're not accepting of, something that is bothering you? Because these are the things that would be, captured in the energy of the Devil card. So if someone better or someone that more aligned with your desires shows up, will you have the same concerns? I would say yes, because if you're not, it's not the same person, but every person is an individual, and they could have other little quirks or things that you can consider to be red flags. I'm not saying ignore your intuition. By all means, please connect with your intuition and make those decisions that best serve you. But with new connections, there may be other things that you could potentially look at as issues. And is the problem with you? So you've got the Five of Wands here. It's the only card that's in the reverse. A lot of times reversals speak to our internal space. They definitely speak to the current. And you've got the Five of Wands. So it seems like you're conflicted, or you could be conflicted as it relates to, relationships and connections and things like that. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a problem. I would just say that these are things that you need to probably do a little self-reflection on, and really open up your awareness around them, because the Five of Wands is about conflicts. It's about, different ways of seeing things. It's a lot of times conflicting thoughts. Okay, the number 5 itself is the energy of being neither here nor there. It's tension, it's conflict, it's, so those are like the negative voices in our head, so to speak. And if this is what you have in your internal space, you may need to, put some thought into that and figure out how you can turn that around. Now, to address the reversal energy of a card that speaks to our internal space, it's helpful to consider the lessons learned in the card before it in the same suit, and that's the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is about celebration. The Four of Wands is about, it's a high vibe kind of, energy, high vibe state. The Four of Wands is about abundance. There's no fear in that, just love. It's a different mindset altogether. There's no self-criticism or anything like that in the Four of Wands card. Okay, so let's pull some additional messages for you from the Oracle. These are messages for you from your spirit guides. Okay, physical body. Gaia, you may want to put some additional attention to your physical body if you don't already normally do that. And physical body is not always like sustenance and food and things like that. It could also be rest, relaxation, meditation, anything that impacts and strengthens our physical body. You've got Aphrodite here speaking to the life force. Okay, passion and love ignites us all. So Aphrodite speaks to allowing this life force in your life. You've got new beginnings. Okay, the Divine Father energy here speaks to allowing new beginnings. Doors are being opened, the start of new things. Okay, it doesn't necessarily speak to this relationship alone, but you could, in generally, more broadly speaking, be starting a new phase in your life. And you've also got rest. We were just talking about that with, Gaia here. So the Holy Spirit reminds you to take rest as needed. This could be a physical rest. It could also be a spiritual rest. Okay, that's all that I have for you. Thank you and best of luck.